Devil's Gulch is fascinating. It's just a small depression just down the side of South Wellington on Kunanyi. It's as if a giant has grabbed a whole lot of those old building blocks and stacked them end to end, trying to make them as wobbly as possible without falling over. And I'm up here today to get the dawn light shining on the rocks. And they're just starting to glow now, as you've just seen. But I've got to make my way through the gulch, which is big, sharp, jagged boulders and rocks with big gaps between them. It's pretty hairy. If you're careful, you can pick your way amongst the rocks. I've been up here before, not a cloud in the sky, much like today, but of course the sun was beating down, and the photo I got was this crystal clear blue sky with these massive tors climbing into the sky. And I can't wait to get a dawn photo. This is going to be amazing. It took me a little longer than I thought. I'm up on the eastern side of the gulch, up on a big jumbled pile of boulders. But I think this is the best place for the composition I'm after. If you have a look behind me, you can see the whole side is lit up. And I made it up here, and then the sun breached and lit the whole thing up, which is not at all what I was expecting. I've got my my SLR over here, my crop sensor with a 15mm lens on it, and the idea was to get a time lapse of the sun kind of coming down from here all the way, but that was not to be. It just went boom and lit up the entire cliff face. I can't say I'm upset about that because it looks incredible. But I do have that still on the time lapse. I'm just taking 100 shots and we'll see what comes of it. In the meantime, I do have my other camera with me, and I've got a long lens on that as well as a 24-70 to play with. To start with, I'm actually interested in this. This is really lovely. This old native tree with old man's beard all over it. I'll grab a couple of shots of that before the sun comes up too high because I love the highlights on that. I swapped over for my long lens, which is a 150 to 450mm, and I should be able to pick out quite a few of these little spots up the top. Even at 150mm, we can see there's quite a lot of detail, and we can roll along here. So see this boulder just sitting up there. I can actually zoom right into that and get maybe a really nice composition like that. Maybe pull it out just a smidge. And then further over, there's another set of boulders just sitting precariously, which is really interesting. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in, see if I can find a few shots. Now I'm going to start with that boulder that I was just showing you then, and if I get the polarizer right, I can really show the glow from the sun. And the other thing too, when you're shooting at such a long length and there's nothing in the foreground, you can open that aperture all the way up. There's no depth of field to worry about because by the time you get out to those sort of lengths, you're on infinity anyway. All of the scene is compressed, so there's nothing that's going to be out of focus as long as you've got that initial focus. I know you're probably thinking, why don't I use a tripod? Well, the thing is, I could use a tripod, and I am using it for my time lapse, so that's out. But even if I wasn't, I find that the tripod really locks you in, and when I'm picking out all these little scenes in here, I can't be encumbered by the tripod. I want to go snap, snap, snap over there down here. You just can't do that with a tripod. It takes a lot longer to move things around, get things in the right position. If I want to get that horizontal correct, while I'm holding it, it's just a little tilt. On the tripod, I've got to unscrew and finally adjust. And by the time you're done, the moment's gone. I should probably turn around and have a look down here. Oh my goodness. So behind me, I've got the Taws, which I'm happily snapping away at. Down on the other side, this is South Arm coming around here, and Ralph's Bay through here, and City of Hobart is actually just over this side. Absolutely stunning. Right down the water where the sun's shining, there was a ship, a container ship. Looked brilliant with the sun backlighting it. Who knew the communications tower would be so good? We're actually not that far from the city. It took me half an hour to drive to the Springs, which is the closest car park to the trail, and then about an hour to walk up to the ice house where I first spoke to you, and then probably another 20 minutes to get to the top of this little mound of rocks. So in all, you're talking 2 hours. Oh my God. Just wait a minute. Clouds are doing some incredible things. Of course I need this on it because I'm getting sunshine. Just amazing. Big fan of clouds, especially the low ones. Especially when they hit the trees and the hills and they just start to spray up. I say spray, it's not really the right word. But the shapes they make, all these tendrils. Just a short trip today. This was the shot that I wanted. And it's all on automatic. I better be good. If you like this video, hit the like button below. If you want to see more, please subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. And it encourages me to do more of these sort of trips. Thanks for coming along on the ride. And I hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.